no front, no borders. Somebody can come from Portugal to Sweden, from Belgium to Germany to Finland, everywhere, just saying he's European. But even here, from here to Benin, at Seme border, you have to give your passport, stamp. Okay, anyway, there is a ECOWAS passport. But now, if you are not in ECOWAS, for instance, me, I will have to come. If I come, they will give you problems. Oh, your visa is expired. This. Sometimes I look at that. I feel bad. And an American who doesn't even have anything, just because his skin or just his citizenship. Oh, red carpet. They say Africans, we should change our attitude towards ourselves. Because otherwise we never develop ourselves. And it is really a task that our leaders have to do. Our grandfathers who brought democracy, who brought independence, dreamed about one Africa.
That's true.
They could not achieve it because of later, after all, there were coups, there is these military regimes and everything. But now that we are back in democracy, the dividends of democracy is now to have one Africa, where my son or my daughter can come to Nigeria without a visa and be welcomed, where a Nigerian can go to Rwanda and be welcomed. Not only that, go to down South Africa, or up to Algeria or Egypt or Libya or these countries. Because we are the one who block ourselves. We block ourselves. Look at the Europeans. They opened and now Europe is growing every day. When we are going down, we are not advancing, we are going back. It's a shame.
A few years ago, 3 years ago, thereabouts, Rwanda became a member of the Commonwealth. Would you say this was to help improve ties with the West?
First of all, before we were only in this francophonie. People speak French. But with that francophonie, all Rwandans, because as I told you, some Rwandans, due to the history, to our history, don't speak French. They grew up in Uganda, they grew up in Kenya, they grew up everywhere, elsewhere. So we saw that we should gain more being in the two organizations, in francophonie and in the Commonwealth. We applied. Yes, I know, as you said, you have not been colonized by UK. What the hell? What do you want to come to do here? So people advocate for us. We explained our position, and we got in Commonwealth. So we are benefiting like Nigeria, other countries, as being part of a big family, English-speaking countries. But it's not, because there is also, I think there's also Mozambique, which doesn't speak English. Yeah. But it is more, for economic, for culture, for exchanges. Once you're in a group.
Are you gaining?
Of course, yes. Once you, it's like being in a family. The more you are, the more you benefit. The more you get more contacts and you get more, exchanges. It's better.
I'm going to go back to talk about genocide for a bit. France has announced the release of Laurent Serbia, a former Rwandan colonel who was wanted for his role in the 1994 genocide. The reason they said they're releasing him is because they said at the time the genocide happened, there were no laws in Rwanda to punish crimes against humanity. How is Rwanda reacting to that?
First of all, let me ask you a question. To say that the law punishing genocide was not, when it was committed, was not yet in Rwanda. It's like chicken and egg. Which came first? Actually, it's not even the same. You have to know that this thing has happened to now put a law to punish it. You understand? How will you discover, for instance, a medicine for a disease that you have never seen? You get what I mean? So this is just nonsense. It's just they try to escape. The law, international law, stipulates that genocide is punishable everywhere, not only in the country it has been committed or perpetrated. It is a duty for any nation to arrest, send back to Rwanda, or judge the suspect. So what France did, and it's not the first time, they do it every time, it's just politics. Because if somebody is guilty, either you judge him like other countries did. Belgium did. Sweden did. Netherlands did. But France have not done anything. And most of the perpetrators, they are there. You know why? Because the then government, when the genocide was being committed, the government were linked to France government. So I think it's just about, sentiments or trying to protect their friends.
So are you still hunting the perpetrators of the genocide?
Of course. Now we never stop. We never stop, because genocide is a crime against humanity. And other crimes, financial crimes and everything can be waived. Genocide, never. Never, never.
Would you say that that's one of the reasons why Rwanda is so vocal against the ICC? I mean, you're signing the African Union by saying that the ICC seems to be going, specifically against African leaders.
Let me tell you about the ICC. The justice of ICC is selective. It's like something they put there to judge Africans. You Africans who are underdeveloped, who don't know anything. We are there. If you do something, hey, there is ICC. Like when you have your stick and you show it to your son or your daughter, a small boy. Hey, if you continue to be stubborn, I will hit you. That's the same for with ICC. Why? It's only Africans that they take there. Okay, I think they took one. It's only just underdeveloped country.
These Africans who recommended these cases to the ICC, at least 5 of them.
Political move. First of all, I think now the recent case of President Uhuru.
Yeah.
Why did they start just before election? Why? Can you do that? DRC. Why did they pick Bemba before election? Or just after election when he was contesting the results of the elections? Actually, as you say, our brothers Africans also, they think they are smart when they're doing that. But we are exposing ourselves to those Westerners. If I have a problem in Africa, why don't we solve them? Why don't we have our own ICC in Africa? Our own. To judge ourselves. It's another part, it's another form. Kind of colonialism. And it's sad that Africans will never really open eyes and see. Economically, we are still colonized. Even governing, good governors, we are still the same. You are going to contest election. Stand there, fair, and agree if you lose or if you win. But starting playing, okay, because he's my competitor, let me start first taking him to ICC. I gave you an example. If President Uhuru was guilty, why now his people, who they say he committed some crimes against them, why they want to elect him, to vote for him? You see the rationale.
And is that the message that President Paul Kagame will be taking to the ICC? Because he's requested to address the court when Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta appears for his trial next month.
Actually, for me, and I'm sure for our government and for most of Africans, it's a shame to take a leader, a president, elected president, to a court like that. Why didn't they take George Bush? You say Rwanda is not a signatory. Is America a signatory? Can any American be judged there? Why? Always, two different measures for the same problem or same case. Once people will explain to me why an American cannot be judged there. They went to Iraq looking for chemical weapons. Did they find them? All the atrocities which were there. In every war, there are always war crimes. Have you ever seen, UK, America, France, anybody to be judged because of the war crimes? But Africans, oh yes, small boys, go there. Come on.
So that means that you do support Kenya's decision to pull out of the ICC, and you're also encouraging other African countries to do the same.
Absolutely, I'm for that. And Nigeria should join. Other countries should join to remove, to withdraw from that court. Yes. Really. Because for me, it's just something to judge small people, small Africans. And if you are thinking that we are equal, some animals are not equal like others. Yes, we should be equal everywhere. Equal rights. And equal treatment.
Let's talk about elections on Monday. You're choosing parliamentarians, and I don't know what you make of former Prime Minister Feston Twagiri Mungu's comments about the elections being flawed, about parliamentarians already being chosen.
Some parties, which parties? First of all, to register a party, there are processes. So you will not breach regulations or laws because to satisfy somebody. The parliamentary mandate, I think, the term is 5 years. So why do they rush 1 month before to be registered? So now you want people, our country to breach the rules and everything, so as to say that this guy or these people should be registered. They have the whole time to do that. So if 1 or 2 is not there, there are others. There are many parties in Rwanda, and there will be fair elections.
It's interesting you should bring up your Minister of Foreign Affairs, because I did meet her in the African Union Summit back in January. And remember then there was a meeting between the leaders in the Great Lakes region, and they were talking about the DRC, which was one of the main topics of the meetings in the African Union, as well as Mali and Sudan. Tell us how far those meetings have gone.
Yes, the ICGLR.
Yes.
That's what I think 11 countries. Countries of Great Lakes region. Yes,
the Great Lakes region. Your president is indicted in helping the rebels in the DRC.
It's another, what can I say, politics behind reality of things. DRC they have their own problems. Actually, DRC is bigger than Nigeria, with a lot of tribes. And no good leadership in that country. People are not equal. People from the east, there are people who speak Kinyarwanda, our language, due to their history. Because Rwanda used to be big. And during the Berlin Conference, where they've divided Africa like a cake, one part of the cake where people who speak Kinyarwanda, they treat themselves in different countries. That's why I have Rwandans in west of Tanzania. Some are being chased away, which is a pity. That's why you find Rwandans in the south of Uganda. There's no problem. They are fully integrated. That's why you find Rwandans in the east of DRC. That's what the problem is. They don't recognize them as Congolese. They want them to chase them away. They go back to Rwanda. But they are land is there. If they want them to come to Rwanda, they should give them their land also, which is the Kivus. But now, those people who you say they're rebels, they are the one who put the President Kabila now and his father on power. They fought together, Mobutu, and they reached in Kinshasa. They were part of that army, still recently. But then, when they start now oppressing Rwandans, their parents were sent in exile. They are in a refugees camp in Rwanda and in Burundi and in Uganda. How can you, as an officer, army officer, part of the country, like here, you are, for instance, from, let's say, you are from Adamawa, you are a military here. You are part of Nigerian army. And your parents are sent in exile in Cameroon. What will you do? You first ask your parents that your parents can come back. If the government is refusing, it's nonsense.
Ambassador Ebenezer, thank you so much for speaking with us.
You're welcome.
And that's Diplomatic Channel this week. I am Amarachi Ubani. Thanks for watching.